All right, we're back in session in People versus Robert Durst, Department 81, and Miss McKeon, that's how you say the name? McKeon has resumed the witness stand. You will remain under oath. Mr. Durst is present with counsel. The people who represent jurors and all jurors and alternates are present. Mr. Gary, you may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. McKeon.
Yes.
This isn't going to be bad. You seem to be a happy woman. You laugh very easily, you smile very easily. That's your personality. Okay. You were raised basically on the East Coast, Brooklyn, Long Island.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn and then grew up on Long Island,
Yeah.
Queens, and then Nassau.
Would you agree with me that folks that are raised on the East Coast, Brooklyn, Long Island, New York City, have a rather distinctive accent?
Yes.
Now, see, I don't think I have an accent.
Because I still get that. I've been up in New England for 54 years, and I still get when I say coffee.
Coffee,
Well, that's the-
yes, and so forth. Kathie talked that way too, didn't she?
Yeah. Real?
Are you familiar with the West Coast accent?
I don't, no, I guess I'm not. I don't think of them having an accent, I guess, maybe.
But not like the yes and the...
Yeah, the southern
Boston.
accent or the Boston accent.
Boston.
You get a real, but yeah, I don't think of the West Coast too much as an accent.
And that's the way that Kathie talked.
Yeah, she had a
Thank you for coming all this way. That's all I have.
Anything else from the people?
No, thank you very much.
That's West Coast.
We have no accent. Thank you very much.
We excuse the witness.
Yes, she's excused. We'll be calling another witness this afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
I was going to give that instruction, which I will after the witness departs. I don't believe I stated clearly enough my limiting instruction that I gave earlier, so I'm going to restate it, disregard the way I stated it before. I'm going to state it more clearly now. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may not consider the testimony from Dr. Watlington that Kathie Durst feared Seymour Durst would kill her as evidence that Seymour Durst killed Kathie. You may only consider it for the limited purpose of assessing the credibility of Kathie Durst's other statements. You may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people call Officer Sharif.
Please come forward, officer.
You solemnly state that the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Please be seated. Please state and spell your first and last name.
Rashad, R-A-S-H-A-D. Last name Sharif, S-H-A-R-I-F.
Thank you.
You may proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is your occupation?
Police officer, City of Los Angeles.
What is your current assignment?
Currently assigned to the Community Engagement Group out of Headquarters Division.
What is the Community Engagement Group?
Community Engagement Group, community outreach, just have meetings with the community. We do a days of dialogue. I also assist with our youth services group, youth programs in the city of LA for LAPD cadet program.
Okay. And for how long have you been a police officer?
30 years.
30 years? What assignments have you had over the years?
Undercover narcotics, vice unit, the crash gang unit, and patrol, and Senior Lead Officer. That's my title, P3+1, Senior Lead Officer.
Okay. And I'm going to take you back to December 24th of the year 2000. What was your assignment on that day?
I was assigned to West Los Angeles Patrol Division. I was a training officer.
So does that mean you were being trained or you were training?
I was training the new officers that came through our division.
For how many years had you been a police officer as of that date in 2000 approximately?
Just over 10 years.
Okay. And as a training officer, kind of what are your responsibilities? What does that mean to be a training officer?
Basically, when we have a officer that's new from the academy, they get assigned to a division, and then they are assigned a training officer. And that training officer, we basically train them. We write their rating. They have to have a daily rating to show how they're doing each day, show their progression.
Okay. And who were you training that day?
That day I was training Officer Ryan Terrakina.
Okay. Were you in full uniform that day?
Yes, it was.
Was Officer Terrakina in uniform?
Correct.
Were you guys together in the same vehicle?
Yes, we were.
Was that a marked black and white police vehicle?
Yes, it was.
And what area were you responsible for patrolling that particular day?
That day we were, I believe our unit was X28, which means we had the Benedict Canyon north portion of West Los Angeles area.
Okay.
Which would be north and east of UCLA, north of Sunset.
And having a patrol assignment, as you did on that particular day, what are the main duties? What do you do when you're on patrol?
Well, number one, you're responsible for any radio calls that come out or that are dispatched from the 911 operators. So they give you an assignment and they give you a particular area of the city, and then if there's a radio call in that area, you would be the one to respond, or if somebody else is busy, you would take a call in their area. But in that particular day, the call that was created was in my area of assignment.
Okay. I'm going to take you back to that date, December 24th, 2000, and ask you, did you get a call for service to respond to a caller who was calling from 1531 Benedict Canyon in the city of Los Angeles?
Yes, it did.
By the way, that address in that area of Benedict Canyon, is that as well here in the county of Los Angeles?
County and city of Los Angeles, correct.
And was this a response to a 911 call?
Yes, it was.
What type of 911 call was it?
It was for an open door.
Okay, and was this open door at 1527 Benedict Canyon?
Yes, it was.
All right. Do you remember what time approximately that 911 call came in?
I believe it was approximately 12:20 in the afternoon.
Okay. And when you responded, do you remember approximately how long it took you to respond from whatever you were doing? Or what time you arrived?
We arrived at approximately 12:52 that afternoon.
And what did you do when you arrived?
We met up with another unit that was had gotten there just prior to us arriving.
Had they already entered that particular residence and checked it out, or no?
No, they were out front.
What's the usual protocol in a situation like this? You respond to an open door call, another unit's there. What's the protocol? What do you guys do?
Usually, you would wait for an additional unit to come and talk to them, come up with a plan of how you're going to approach the call and the situation.
Okay. I have a photograph. I'm going to mark this as People's 29.
Yes.
It'll be on the screen on there in front of you. There you go. Do you recognize that home?
Yes, I do.
What house is that?
That's the address of 1527 Benedict Canyon.
I have another photograph. May I mark this as People's 30?
Yes.
By the way, People's 29, does this fairly and accurately depict the condition of that residence when you arrived in terms of the cars that were parked in the driveway, etc.?
You mean the previous picture?
Oh yeah,
Also-
People's 29, sorry.
Yes, that's the way it looked.
Was that yellow tape up when you got there?
No.
Okay, who put that yellow tape up?
One of us, one of the 4 officers that was there.
Okay. I'm now going to show you what's been marked as People's 30. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this a aerial photograph of this same particular area?
Correct.
You see the one house there on this photograph with the red chimney sticking up?
Yes, the brown house and kind of in the middle of the picture.
Okay. Is that also 1527 Benedict Canyon?
Yes, it is.
When you arrived there, you say you met up with the other team. The normal protocol is to develop a plan of what you're going to do. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you guys develop a plan?
Yes, we did.
What was that?
The plan was to enter the residence through the rear yard, and there was a rear door that was open. And the plan was to walk down the side of the house and enter through the rear portion.
Okay. And did the 4 of you do that?
Yes, we did.
Did you know when you arrived that this was going to be a homicide scene?
No, not at all.
Did you suspect this was going to be a homicide scene?
No.
What kind of call did you expect that you responded to?
I won't say we get calls like this all the time, but normally we get a open door, and person, left out the house without closing the door, or forgot it was open. So this is the first call that I recall that I went to where open door actually turned into a crime scene.
Okay. Your Honor, I have a stack of photographs for ease with the clerk. May I mark this entire stack as People's 31?
Yes.
And as I go through them, I'll put a letter next to it.
Do you know how many you have?
I'm not positive how many I'm going to use at this juncture.
All right, we'll call this collectively 31. You'll let
I
us-
could give you a number.
Thank you.
40 photographs. 40 photographs.
Really? All right, 40 photographs.
Okay.
So you're going to be double lettering some of them.
I guess, yeah.
All right.
Okay. So when you arrived, was the front door open or closed?
Front door was closed.
And you say you formulated a plan to go to the back door. Were you going to go down a path along the right side of the house as you're facing the house, or the left side of the house?
So looking at this photo, towards the right side of the house.
Okay. And when you walk down that path, I'm showing you what's been marked as People's 31A. Does this picture fairly and accurately depict the path that you walk down the right side of this home?
Yes, it does.
You see how there's a wooden gate there?
Correct.
In the picture, the gate is open. Does this picture fairly and accurately depict the condition of that gate when you arrived?
Yes, it does.
So it was wide open as it's depicted in this photograph?
Correct.
There's 2 cars parked in the driveway of People's 31A. Were those the 2 cars that were parked there?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as People's 31B. Does this fairly and accurately depict the car that was parked in the garage?
Yes.
Showing what has been marked as People's 11. I'm sorry, People's 31C.
Yes, that's the truck that was there.
And was this a fair and accurate picture of the car that was parked behind the car depicted in People's 31B?
Yes.
I have a photograph of People's 31D. Well, it's kind of sideways. All right, well, it's okay. Turn your head a little bit. Does, is this a picture of the front door of that particular residence?
Yes, it is.
And you see those packages in the front?
Yes.
I'm going to show you People's 31E. Maybe you can see it a little better there. 31D and 31E. These fairly inaccurately depict packages that were on this front door when you arrived.
Yes, sir.
People's 31F. Here, let me use them. We're going to go old school. Semi. You can. People's 31F. There we go. All right. So, what is this a photograph of?
That's the walkway on the side of the house that we walked down to approach the residence.
Okay, and this is the walkway down the right side of the home.
Yes, sir.
And does this photograph show that open gate that you went through that we just saw earlier?
Yes.
All right. People's 31G. Okay, what is this showing?
That's the rest of the walkway.
Okay, so is this basically, when you walk down that walkway, did you walk into this open covered area right here?
Yes, like a covered, I guess, patio.
So let's do People's 31H. Is this a fair and accurate picture showing that same walkway, kind of from the opposite angle looking back down?
Correct.
All right, so as you entered the side of this residence, on the right side of the residence, and you walked down this walkway, you were basically walking towards what you're looking at in this picture right here.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when you reached that corner, the end of the walkway, what did you do?
When we got towards, at the, I guess, the end of the covering, kind of looked over and saw the door was open. Kind of, if you look to the right of the picture, that's the door that we entered.
Okay. People's 31I. People's 31I. So is this open kitchen door you're referring to?
Yes, it is.
All right, so when you turn the corner, was the kitchen door open as it is depicted in People's 31I?
Yes.
And this is a fair and accurate picture showing the condition of this property when you arrived?
Yes, it is.
That blue box you see there on the floor, was that there when you got there, or is that something relating to police activity?
That looks like a photographer or some crime scene person, but it was not there when we were there.
Okay. People's 31J. All right. Is this a fair and accurate view looking into the front door into the kitchen of this residence? The back door?
Yes, that's the rear door.
All right. And so, did you enter this home?
Yes, it did.
And did you enter it through that door?
Yes.
So what did you do after you entered?
Entered through that rear door and basically did a search of the residence to find out what was going on.
Okay. So the path that you took, did you walk through this kitchen right here?
Yes.
People's 31, okay? You see where the man is standing in this photograph?
Yes.
All right, is that the outside door that you were talking about that you walked in?
Correct. That's the way we walked through.
And this is the kitchen that you walked into?
Yes.
31L? Is this another picture taken from that back door looking towards the back of this kitchen?
Yes, it is.
You see on this picture, people's 31L on the right, there seems to be like a doorway that's open in the very back. To the
Yeah,
right.
by the chair, to the right of the chair. That's leading into like the living room area.
Did you make a right and go through that door?
Yes, I did.
And people's 31M? Is this another close-up view of that same particular door?
Yes.
And people's 31 in where mouth is. Okay. So what's shown in people's 31N, that's the door you went through
Correct.
after you walked through the kitchen.
Yes.
All right. And when you went through that room, what in particular, what room were you in?
I would call it the living room or like an office. But there was a desk inside there as well.
When you entered this kitchen, were you paying close attention to the things inside the kitchen at the moment you walked in?
Not at small, no. We were just trying to see why was the door open and see what we could find.
Did you eventually, after you found what you found, go back and look through the kitchen a little bit? Or go back into the kitchen or something?
Yes, yes, yes it did.
Okay. Do you remember seeing a purse anywhere in the house?
Yes.
Where was that purse?
Purse was sitting on the kitchen cabinet or cupboard on like a shelf, kitchen shelf, I guess you would call it.
People's 31O. Do you see that purse in this picture?
Right, behind the chair, the black, on the picture it looks like it's black sitting up on the counter next to the sink.
We'll do people's 31P. Is this a close-up of that same purse?
Yes,
Now, did you ever search the contents of that purse, or was that someone else?
I didn't search it.
Okay. But this photograph that you're looking at right now, people's 31P, does this photograph fairly and accurately depict this purse as you observed it on the kitchen counter as you entered this home?
Yes.
All right. People's 31Q. Does this photograph fairly and accurately depict the view looking from that kitchen door you walk through into this living room / office area that you identified?
Yes, it does.
Okay. People's 31R. And this doorway we're looking at, is that again this kitchen door that you walked through?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so after you left the kitchen, this was the next room that you walked through?
Correct.
That desk was in the living room as it's depicted here?
Yes.
And does this photograph fairly and accurately depict the condition of this room when you guys arrived?
Yes, it does.
There's a dog bowl there on the floor next to that, I don't know if you want to call it a credenza or credenza.
Yes.
That was there when you arrived?
Yes, everything looks Wade did that, that afternoon.
People's 31F. Is this another fair and accurate depiction of the condition of the same room from a different angle when you arrived?
Yes.
People's 31T. Is this yet another fair and accurate depiction as you entered of this particular room, this way looking backwards towards the front door?
Yes.
Okay, and this credenza in People's 31T, that's the same credenza depicted in People's 31S, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So as you were walking from the kitchen, walking towards and then past that credenza, correct?
Correct.
All right. So as you are entering this room, you make a right turn after you exit the kitchen, and you enter this room, and you walk past this credenza. What do you see?
I walked past the credenza and the desk, and to the right of the desk is a bedroom.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as people 31. You? Okay, so is this the view you're looking at as you enter this room?
Yes, it is.
And this bedroom you're referring to, where is that in this
The
room?
door right in the middle of the picture behind the seat or chair, lounger chair.
Pink, kind of.
Yes.
All right. And as you entered this room, did you notice something out of the ordinary as you're walking through, clearing the house, walking through this room?
Yes, I did.
What did you notice?
There was a woman's body laying in the doorway of that, behind the pink chair.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as People's 31 V. Do you see this photograph?
Yes.
Does this photograph fairly and accurately depict this room and the objects in the room as you walk through it?
Yes, it does.
And this body that you found, do you see this body in this photograph?
Yes.
And that's there in the doorway?
Correct.
Is that where the body was, as depicted in this picture, People's 31V, when you found it?
Yes.
People's 31W. Does this picture fairly and accurately depict what you saw when you walked through that room into that doorway?
Yes, it does.
Can you describe for the jury how she was laid out?
She was lying with her head facing in a northerly direction and her arms out to the side, and it's just like that in the picture. Just laid out.
People's 31X. Is this another fair and accurate picture showing the condition of this woman as you enter the house?
Yes, it is.
Those items that are on the floor, there's towels and a newspaper, were those there in that spot when you arrived?
Yes.
People's 31Y. This is another photograph from a slightly different angle, which fairly and accurately depicts the condition of this woman as you arrived.
Yes, sir.
People's 31Z. And I'm just going to show you a series of photographs from different angles of this particular body, and I need you just to tell me for each question I ask you in each photograph whether they're a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw when you arrived, okay?
Okay.
So this is People's 31Z. Is this fair and accurate?
Yes.
Do you, People's 31AA, is that correct, John? AA after Z.
Yes.
Yes, that's the accurate depiction.
People's 31 A B BB.
Yes, accurate depiction.
You see those spots around her head? Can you zoom? Are you able to zoom in? No, focus not working. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Can you switch it back?
Yep. There's some circular spots of blood surrounding the body, almost as if going from left to right and around her head. What were those?
Appeared to be like paw prints from a dog.
Okay. And those paw prints appeared to be in this woman's blood.
Correct.
Did it appear to you that this dog or dogs had been walking around the victim's body at some point when the blood was fresh?
Yes.
People's 31 CC. Is this another fair and accurate depiction of this woman?
Yes, it is.
People's 31 DD. Does this picture fairly and accurately depict this woman's face as you approach?
Yes, it does.
People's 31 EE. Is this another fair and accurate depiction of what you saw?
Yes, it is.
People's 31 FF. Is this another fair and accurate depiction of what you saw?
Yes.
You see how there's items around this woman's feet? Were those the condition that these items were in when you arrived?
Yes.
How many bedrooms were in this home?
2 bedrooms.
And could you tell based on the items in the bedroom whether both bedrooms appeared to be occupied by somebody or not? Like in other words, somebody had been staying, using that room regularly, both bedrooms or only one of them?
There was another bedroom, and that one appeared to be the one where a person was living in. This room, the bed, I don't believe it had like sheets or anything on it, but the other room had bed sheets and like a TV set up in that room, and that appeared to be where someone was living.
Did you disturb any of the items, or any other officer in your presence disturb any of the items around that body when you guys arrived or at any point you were there?
No, we didn't touch anything. Crime scene.
Did you disturb or touch any other items in the house, move any other items in the house until detectives arrived?
No, we didn't.
Can you describe this room that this woman was found inside of? Describe for the jury what was in there.
It was a bedroom. It had a it had a bed with appeared to be a metal frame on it. and just a bed in the middle. And I don't remember if it was this one. I have to look at the photos. It might have been either this room or the other room. They had a kennel for a dog. I think it was on the right side of this room, if I recall. And this was kind of looked just like a room. I don't remember if there are any clothes or anything in the closet, but the bed there's no sheets or anything on it to where you would be like, okay, this is where somebody's sleeping. That room didn't appear that way at all.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as People's 31 GG. You recognize this picture?
Yes, yes.
What is this a picture of?
That's the bedroom where the victim was found, and that was the kennel at the side of the bed, and that's the bed with this mattress on it.
Okay. And this is the condition of this room as you found it?
Yes.
The victim's body would be outside of the frame of this photograph, kind of in front of the photograph. Is that right?
Correct.
Did you, at some point, look around her body, look around the room to see if you saw any obvious signs of evidence or anything like that? Any items?
Yes.
Is there anything of particular significance come to mind that you saw?
Bullet casing
Okay.
near the wall where that phone, one of the earlier pictures, there was a phone, and against that wall there was a casing that was found, bullet casing.
So you're trained in how firearms operate, and you obviously use a firearm in your job, right?
Correct.
Can you describe for the jury the difference between a revolver and a semi-automatic?
Revolver is cylindrical, like kind of the old Western gun, to where you fire the bullet, and then the casing, which is the metal rear portion of the gun, it stays in the I forgot.
Cylinder?
Cylinder, yes, stays in the cylinder, so then when you open it up, you will see the expended casing still inside there.
Let me ask you this. A bullet has a projectile that shoots down the barrel, is that right?
Correct.
And is that bullet, when you hold the bullet, attached to a shell case?
Yes.
And is...
So the tip would be the bullet, and then the portion, usually larger, is at the rear of that. So when the gun is fired, that top tip bullet fires off and the casing is still there. In a revolver, the casing stays inside the cylinder. That's on a revolver. On a semi-automatic, that portion is ejected out. So there's nothing to hold it in. There's no cylinder for it. So when they fire the gun, the bullet goes that way, and you'll see the metal casing fly out of the weapon. So that would be the difference between the two, a revolver and a semi-automatic weapon.
So when you fire, each time you pull the trigger and discharge a semi-automatic firearm, a shell case ejects from that firearm?
Correct.
Okay. And you say you found a shell case near the body?
Yes.
Did you find more than one shell case or only one shell case?
You know what? I know for one for sure. I'd have to look at either the photos or find something else. I know there was one for sure against the wall.
Okay. Do you remember you saw one? Did you do a detailed crime scene investigation, or was that left to detectives?
That was left to detective. I just did a cursory search, I would call it, of that room.
And to your memory, you found one shell case?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been marked as People's 31HH.
Yes, that's an accurate depiction of the room.
Okay, you see where there's a yellow placard card with a number 1 on it?
Yes.
Was that there when you arrived, or is that to signify a piece of evidence that was found?
The number 1 was not there. That was either a detective or a crime scene person left that.
Okay, and can you see in this photograph next to the number 1 what that item is?
Yes, that's the metal casing, the expended casing.
Okay. And does this photograph, People's 31 HH, fairly and accurately depict where that shell case was when you first saw it?
Yes.
I'm showing you People's 31 II. This is a close-up that fairly and accurately depicts that shell case against that wall when you found it.
Correct.
Did you eventually, at some point, go and look near the front door of the residence, on the inside of the residence?
Yes.
Do you remember anything slipped into the front door?
There was a note that somebody had slipped underneath, it appears that someone had slipped underneath the door.
I'll show you People's 31 JJ. Does this photograph fairly and accurately depict where that note was located when you saw it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Did you, and your fellow officers, when you arrived, conduct a search of the home for suspects?
Yes, we did.
And where did you look?
We looked throughout the house, so we went in through the kitchen, went through the living room, found the body in that rear room, or found the body in that first room, and then we went throughout the house checking for any additional, either as a suspect or a victim, and we checked the other bedroom, and the other bedroom and another bathroom inside the house.
So the purpose of your search, was it to look for evidence?
No, we were still at an open door and trying to figure out why the door's open and check on the well-being of whoever lives at the house.
Okay. And once you found the dead body, it's no longer an open door, right?
Right.
Now what are you concerned about?
Now we're worried about if there's either other victims there or if the suspect, or if this is a crime, if there's other, people inside the house. So we're mainly looking for people.
Did you search all obvious places where people could be hidden?
Yes.
Did you check all the rooms in the house?
Yes, we did.
You checked the closets in the house where
Yes.
people could hide?
Closet, bedroom, restroom.
Okay. Did you basically look through all areas in that house where somebody could secrete themselves?
Yes.
Was there anyone else inside this home other than that woman laying on the floor when you guys arrived?
No, there was not.
Did you find a firearm anywhere in the house that you saw?
No.
Was there a firearm anywhere near the victim's body?
No, there was not.
Were there any people on the premises other than you and your fellow officers when you arrived?
No.
Did you see any obvious signs of a struggle in the house from your perspective when you looked through the house?
No, I did not.
Did you see any obvious signs of a theft when you looked through the house?
No.
Was any furniture overturned?
No, there was not.
Were any drawers ransacked, things thrown on the floor, looked like someone had gone through anything?
No.
Were there items of value such as TVs, computers, etc. that were left inside the home?
Yes.
In fact, the purse was left there on the kitchen counter when you arrived.
Correct.
Were there any animals on the premise?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
There was a couple of dogs inside the residence, and I don't remember if it was 2 or 3, but one of the dogs got out because we went through the door, and going through the house, one of the dogs ran out. So 2 of the dogs we kept inside the other bedroom, not the one where the victim was found, another bedroom. We closed the door in that, and then me and my partner chased the dog down Benedict Canyon out the house to try to retrieve the dog. This is after we searched the house.
All right, now I'm gonna put you on the spot because I've talked to him, so I got his answer. But which one of you got the dog?
I think Dave, my partner, he caught me.
All right.
I'm faster than him, but he caught me.
All right, and you don't remember if it was 2 or 3 dogs in total?
Right. There was one that we chased, and I think we locked 2 in that rear bedroom.
Okay. 2 dogs total.
Two dogs in the rear bedroom, and then one we chased down the street.
Well, are you sure it was 3 dogs total, or could it have been 2 dogs total?
It could have been, I know one for sure was locked in, and I know we chased one.
Okay.
So either it was 2 or 3, but if you tell me it's 2, it's 2. But I definitely know I was chasing the dog.
This second bedroom that you said the person appeared to be living in, what did that room look like?
Still sparsely furnished, but there was a bed. It had like sheets and a blanket on it, and there was kind of a TV tray kind of set up where like a person would go to bed at night and turn on the TV.
I'm showing you what's marked as People's 31 KK. Do you see this room?
Yes,
Does this fairly and accurately depict the condition of the room this person was living in?
yes,
This room had towels for shades.
yeah. It had towels. It didn't have the flooring. It was, you can tell it's like cement on the floor. And then if you show another picture, there's a TV kind of where the person would lay in bed and watch the TV.
People's 31 LL. See the TV there on the right side of the photograph?
Correct.
This photograph fairly and accurately depicts the condition of this room as you saw it.
Yes,
So this person was literally living on concrete.
yes. There's no flooring.
People's 31 MM. Is this another fair and accurate depiction of that room?
Yes, it is.
People's 31 NN. Another fair and accurate depiction
Correct.
of this second bedroom.
Yes.
And finally, People's 31 00. Are these the closets in this bedroom?
Yes.
So, were there women's clothes inside this bedroom?
Yes.
Did you secure these premises until detectives arrived?
Yeah. Once we did a walkthrough, make sure there's no other victims or suspects or anybody in the house. We basically called out detectives, and then we kind of held the scene. That's when we put out the yellow crime scene tape up, and we basically just stand there and wait for detectives to show up.
Did prior to detectives, did paramedics ever come?
Yes.
Did you ever touch the victim's body, or any other officers in your presence touch the body?
No.
The paramedics came in and did that?
They came in and basically, I don't remember if they touched the body or not. I know they just come in, and they weren't there that long. They just came in and said, okay, she's dead, and then they left.
Okay. And you basically made sure that nobody came or left until detectives arrived?
Correct.
And you made sure that nobody disturbed anything until detectives arrived?
Yep, and we secured the dogs, made sure the dogs were secure.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
So we'll break at this time. The cross-examination will be on Monday, June 6th. I'll ask you to remain. I want to check in with you. But ladies and gentlemen, so you'll be going home or going to work tomorrow, I imagine, and then going home. Of course, people are curious. You know, you can't talk about the case at all. You can't discuss it with us. Don't converse among yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected with this case. And by the way, there's probably stuff in the newspaper or television. Change the channel. Don't read the story. I'm saving it up for you. Do not form or express any opinion on the case. No social media regarding the case. Please take care of yourselves, and we will see you on Monday morning at 9 o'clock.
Your Honor, People's 31 was 41 closed.
Thank you.
31.